Hi, this is Joelle. Hello, welcome to my live. This is my first live. So, welcome. Hi, how are you? I'm really excited to be here. I don't know about you, but this eclipse energy has got me kind of all over the place. I've been going between being exhausted and really excited as well. And then I'll be exhausted again. And it's just so much going on. But I'm super excited to be here for this ascension journey. Thank you so much for joining the live chat this evening. I'm just trying to give it a couple more minutes to see if anyone else pops in. Um, I really wanted to tap in to see what the energies are for the Twin Flame Collective as we are going through this full blood moon eclipse portal, gateway, whatever you want to call it. It's big energies. So I wanted to see what guidance would come through. And I received some guidance from my spirit team over the last few days that it basically showed me this layout to do for a tarot spread. And it was based on the information that I was receiving. If you're on the twin flame journey, then you know that it's a very unique pathway of anchoring unconditional love onto this planet through the process of healing yourself and coming into balance within, and then coming into a harmonious vibration with the other aspect of yourself, your other half of your twin flame being. So, the idea of twin flames is kind of going through an evolution. And at some point, you begin to realize that within you, you and your twin have never been separate. So, um, that kind of feeling of my twin always being around and present came up for me like over the last several months. And so what I started looking at is when I would see spreads, not a lot of them had like combined energy. So what I saw was a spread that is going to take and look at the divine masculine within the divine feminine within the divine masculine through the integration of the heart chakra. So I'm going to just basically shuffle and read. The cards that I'm using this evening, I'm super excited about. It's the Dame Darcy Mermaid Tarot. And I just received these before the holidays, and I hadn't really done any readings. And so I finally got settled and was able to start working with the cards a few days ago. And they've just been quite lovely. And I think that they're very well suited. I understand my guides very well with this deck. And so I also today I picked up the most beautiful aqua aura quartz crystal from Phoenix and Dragon, which is a metaphysical store here in the Atlanta area. It's so beautiful. So I think that the two energies came in to work with each other to deliver information. So just to set the tone, I only am receiving information that is of unconditional loving vibration only and truth, and that is imbued with the light of the mighty I am. And so I ask for protection for all those who are hearing this evening, and for all those who receive the guidance that also I'm sharing with you, the guidance that I'm receiving for myself. So, I just know that it will be for our highest good and from loving connections, because my I am declares that it is so, and thus it is. So I want to just kind of get started. I see there are several people in the chat room. Thank you for being here. I'm not necessarily able to type and respond. My last video was a short review of this Dame Darcy deck, which is quite lovely. One thing is, I mentioned in the video that I am normally a fast shuffler like this. Oh, how beautiful. The Two of Cups. I wanted to be shown. But these cards are so beautiful and heavy that I might be able to I will definitely come back and answer questions in the chat room as we're reading. After I get through the reading itself, I'll do personal readings. Okay. So anyway, it's going to take me a little bit to shuffle these cards because they are very new. They're very thick, and I don't shuffle the way that people do throw in their hands. So if you'll just bear with me a moment, what I'm asking for again is then the merged energy that we need to know for this lunar full moon, full blood moon, which means the moon is very close to the earth, and this is the wolf moon according to the symbology. And this is an eclipse that will take place tomorrow evening. I do plan on being out to watch it. I think it starts at about 11:30 Eastern time and goes till about 12:45 a.m. on the 21st as well. So I hope that the skies are clear enough here in Atlanta for us to be able to step outside and hopefully view part of it, because I know that the energies are really, really strong for me right now. Okay, so what we're going to do first is look at what is the energy of the combined heart chakra between the two. Oh, this is beautiful. Okay, so this will be the center point. Then we'll have on the masculine side, what is their energy? And then what is the corresponding balancing feminine energy? This is the combined heart space. This is the masculine, this is the feminine. Now, from within the masculine themselves, we're going to look at what aspect is the masculine, what aspect of you is the masculine currently incorporating or utilizing or dealing with energetically within his reality. And then the same for the feminine. What is the masculine quality of ourselves, our masculine presence within our energy that we are currently utilizing, experiencing, or drawing upon? And then back into the masculine for the bottom of the reading here. So it's actually 3 cards on either side with the intertwined energy through the heart chakra connection of the two individuals into the unified whole. So then we also have the feminine. So I'm sorry if you can't see, but there are 3 cards on either side here. You have to forgive me. This is my first live, so okay. So again, we have then the corresponding energy, the integration then of the energy that we have exchanged through our heart chakras, and then our other energy then within the masculine and feminine separation. All right, and then we want to know what is the overall higher self wanting to say to the union energy. And then we will have the root chakra foundational energy of the union. All right, and at the bottom of the deck, we have the Page of Pentacles. Now, I have not seen all the cards in this deck, so this is really going to be wonderful for me to see these at the same time as I'm reading. So the Page of Pentacles, this speaks to Pentacles are about our material manifestation. So this is bringing in pages or messengers, and they bring in information relating to a material or manifestation of something coming down into tangible and physical reality. So this is a messenger card we have here. So what we have between the two through the heart chakra, this is so beautiful because this is the Hierophant. And the Hierophant really is sometimes considered the marriage card. Now, in this depiction, it features two feminine energies together. And sometimes it features in some cards a masculine and a feminine energy before a kind of pope or religious figure. But what I see in this is so beautiful because the goddess energy is here behind the couple. And it's almost like I see here two towers. These are the two individual towers. And as we know in the tower in the tarot, this speaks to great change. So these are two individuals who have a strong foundation, who've probably been through great change. Their towers have probably come up and come down many times. And they seem to be like joined in a very happy place. So, this is beautiful. If we see almost even the Queen of Cups kind of water, elemental, emotional overseeing of this couple here. So this is beautiful because this is where you are in the heart space. And this is a five. The fives we know are about change and transition. I see there are five little fishes here, also in the water. So I'm really excited about the fact that this is a time of change. This is really beautiful. I think everyone who's been in any kind of phase of separation can certainly relate to being happy when things change from one phase to another. I know I certainly can. Okay, so let's see what the masculine energy is here at the top. Okay, we have the Eight of Wands. So this speaks to rapid communication, messages coming in, being communicated quickly. Sometimes people say this is emails, communication, text messages. I would definitely say that there is some kind of something that's happening that's taking a lot of conversations and quickly. And I don't know what this is relating to. We'll have to look to see in clarification. Okay. In ours, we have the King of Cups. This is really beautiful. I actually had that phrase come through in a meditation for me. I think within the last week, and I heard he is your King of Cups. Now, my twin is not a water sign, but it was just like this clear message that was just like, he is the King of Cups. He is the King of the heart space, right? So here, this definitely, for me personally, would relate to my thoughts and the aspect that I see towards my divine masculine. Now, the energy that I am transiting through a heart center connection that he is either utilizing or dealing with at this particular time. Okay, the Queen of Pentacles. So the Queen of Pentacles, this is a woman who manages her affairs very well in the financial sense. It's kind of like the graduation of the Nine of Pentacles, which is an independent woman who has managed her assets and her household very well, is strong and successful. And this is like a level up of that. So this would be the energy of making, bringing good, sound, independent financial and material management. So I don't know what is going on in particular in my twin's reality, but I think that this is a beautiful energy for him to receive from me. I'm very glad that it was not some kind of stressful energy. So this is within his space right now that he is working with and utilizing. Now, the energy with him, that the masculine that is working within the feminine, the divine within, is the Judgment card. So the Judgment card always, this is just beautiful. Look at the beautiful hair on this card. I don't know if anyone watching is a mermaid person, but I love mermaids. So this card deck is just gorgeous. But okay, so we have a Judgment card. So Judgment speaks to a reckoning of accounts, of things being reviewed and basically tallied, and you're called to reckon for the things that you have done in the past. There's an accountability that comes with the Judgment card. I just love the fact that this is a feminine angelic that is blowing this wind down. And it's almost like this little child is welcoming the judgment. And there's a masculine and feminine here, it's like the child is welcoming, receiving more so even than the adults figures are receiving the welcoming of the divine energy down. I think that's somewhat of the childlike innocence. The childlike innocence stands faultless in judgment. And one of the things that I know as a twin is that compassion for self and self judgment is one of the hardest things to kind of get healing for, because we're always tend to be hardest on ourselves. But, I see this as the child who's innocent being ready for judgment and not feeling any shame or regret. They're meeting it with open arms. So, I personally, at this point in time, I'm trying to determine how I am using that energy in my personal life. I know I've got some situations that have come up that I'm having to use my best judgment for, in terms of opportunities for income, opportunities for projects and affiliations with people. And so I certainly am using my judgment, my mental space, in order to make those decisions at that particular time. At this particular time, I'm feeling very empowered. I'm feeling very much in my feminine and in my masculine at any given time. So, I'm glad that this energy is coming over between our connection. So at the the moon. This is beautiful. So for the masculine, we see this full moon. I feel like, many of the readers are talking about there being a transition coming with this full moon, and that there is new vision. Some people are experiencing Kundalini awakenings, and you can see these kind of look like the green of the Kundalini moving up. I personally, my guides have not told me anything in relationship to my divine masculine or personally. And I honestly have to say that I'm really mostly concerned about my own eclipse experiences, and trying to deal with it. So, we do know that the moon speaks to our hidden emotional selves. So, if he is, either thinking of the feminine whenever the moon is full, or if he's getting in touch with his divine feminine with this full moon, I'm not sure. We'll see what the rest of the relationship that comes out as I continue the reading here. In the corresponding feminine space, we have the Emperor. So the Emperor is one who is in full command of the elements of all of the kings and the queens. This would be the top level. So you obtain mastery, wisdom, mastery over your material, over your emotions, your rational and calm perspective. Basically all of the elements. The Emperor speaks to be the crowning energy over all of them. I don't necessarily like this particular gentleman. He does not necessarily look healthy. And I almost feel like there's a mask on in this. Or maybe it's like this captain went down. This is the captain of the Titanic who went down in a watery grave. I don't know. It's just so weird because this card just, yeah, I guess it is because it's an underwater theme. It's so interesting because there was a masculine that I'm friends with, a divine masculine, and he posted this week about Titanic. Now, this young man is like maybe 29, 30 years old, and I'm 47. So I always tease him about being an old soul. But he was talking about the movie Titanic, and I said, the first time I saw that, I was triggered so bad, I boo-hooed in the parking lot, like ugly cry boo-hooed, right? And I didn't know it at the time because I never heard of twin flame. I came to understand later that it triggered me because it was, very much speaks to the separation of the twin flame love. The I'll never let go scene just had me just over the edge with Jack and Rose. So anyway, I told him that I booed. He said, "Oh yeah, it made him cry a little bit too." So it's really interesting to see from the divine masculine something sensitive that would be considered a quote unquote chick flick kind of moment. So I don't know, this Titanic, this just really seems like the noble thing to do is to go down with your ship. You don't let the ship go down without you. I think the actual captain of the Titanic did not actually do that, which is ironic. But I certainly want to be using all of the things available to me in my life right now to manifest and take charge and control of my ship. So the root chakra foundation between the two in the union is the Five of Wands. So, this speaks to it kind of being a contest of wills. It's different from the Five of Swords, which would be a contest of mental kind of sharpness and somebody who wants to be right at any cost. The Five of Wands kind of just speaks to a struggle to be kind of on top, or a struggle of feelings and emotions in terms of, root chakra. This certainly is not necessarily a stable foundation number for a root chakra. It speaks to change. Again, five. So we've got a five with the Hierophant. We've got the five with the Five of Wands. So this is very much an axis point in the center between the two energies that is experiencing a lot of change energies at this particular moment. Now, the higher combined self, unified over soul self or higher soul self message to the couple is that there is a decision between us. There is something that has yet to be determined. The Two of Swords speaks to looking at two things and needing to make a decision, but not being at the point of making that decision yet. So I'm going to pull a clarifier card to see what additional information we have about that. So the first thing that I want to go ahead and clarify is what is the moon talking about in the masculine energy, and how does it relate to this full moon, blood moon lunar eclipse? Let's get a clarification on the moon. Eight of Pentacles. So the Eight of Pentacles speaks to doing diligent work at something that you're really rather good at. You're proficient. You're kind of knocking it out. You're doing what you need to do. You've already had your pause to reevaluate, and you've adjusted, tweaked, and you're moving forward with more efficiency. As you can see, she's like got a whole treasure chest full of pentacles, and she's putting more and more pentacles into it now. I think this is very beautiful because it's got the yellow empowered energy of the solar plexus chakra as well that's used in making this. So, there's something hidden that has to do with, or something unknown that has to do with work. And what I'm saying is how the money, there's unknown factors related to how money and what the work and vocation situation is right now. There's unseen things either affecting the diligent work or unknown things, that's just influencing the workplace. That's what I'm getting from that. Now, I want to know what the Two of Swords is. What is between the higher self, the combined higher self? What is the Two of Swords? I'm going to pull two cards for this to understand what the two pathways are that are being compared. And this is both from my perspective as the feminine and from my twin's perspective as the masculine. Hmm. So the Two of Swords is related to the Queen of Cups and the Star card. So this has to do with a decision relating to indecision, relating to the wishes coming true with the Queen of the Heart space. It's very, very interesting. Give me a moment as I'm receiving. Yeah, the indecision is in moving towards the heart connection to receive all of the wishes coming true. There's some matter of crossroads or indecision that needs to be made in order to move the situation forward to the Queen of Cups, to the feminine, and for what we know to be the wishes coming true, the wishes granted. It's interesting because here we have the Queen of Cups with the blonde and also one of the partners in the partnership card of the Hierophant, which also is, is connected. So very, very interesting. I'm very interested to see what the rapid messages are. And after the eclipse, I think in about a week or so, I'll probably come back and revisit and see if more comes to light. I definitely feel that a lot of it does relate to some things that I know to be in my union. And I think that some more information will be coming forward from this information. So I want to reset the cards, and I would like to pull some cards for people who are watching on the live this evening. I know I had one question that already popped up, and if there are people still watching, let me clear and reset. And so if you want to pop up a question, let me see here. Okay, someone wanted to know, would you be able to know if I will end up with my twin? Faiza, are you still watching? I hope. Okay. For Faiza, I'm going to pull 3 cards. Give me one moment. Asking for unconditional loving guidance. I saw someone say there was a big earthquake near Chile. I haven't been watching the news very much, so I haven't seen that. I know there's so much going on right now. Earth changes, snow, record temperatures, high and low. I honestly have to tell you, I have been, oh wow, 6.8. Oh my gosh. Wow. I hope everyone is okay around you and that you are safe. And we'll hope that those who experience that are experiencing as minimal harm as possible as this happened. Okay, so for Faiza was the name. Let me go ahead and look at 3 cards. And then I see all seeing activity I'll do for you as soon as I'm done. Okay, Faiza. Okay, rapid communication is coming about a partnership. And there's waiting. Oh, the judgment card keeps wanting to come out. This is the card of the day. Okay, so we have here the 8 of Wands, the 4 of Wands, the Hangman, and the judgment card. So 8 of Wands speaks to rapid communication, messages coming in. So I would expect that you are going to actually get some information. And It's going to be messages relating. The Four of Wands is very much a happy home, happy couple card. As you can see here, this is oftentimes known as the twin flame card because the 1111 of the four, two posts of the canopy in the traditional Rider Waite and also in this one. I think this is beautiful. I love the little red-haired mermaid. So it's information coming about a happy family or happy partnership situation, a balanced one. And that the hangman, so the hangman speaks to being patient, hanging out for, to gain different perspective and to not necessarily be making any moves. So I would say that you should just be patient. It's coming. When it comes, it's going to happen fast, and that there is going to be a balancing of the accounts, a reckoning, a judgment of your situation, where what you all have experienced already is going to be basically, I guess, accounts coming due and being reconciled and being called up and transitioned. So that's really a positive message, Faiza. Okay, and then all seeing activity, is that your name? Are you still there? Okay. I'm going to do for you. Okay, excellent. I have to say, when you said 6.8, every time I see 14, that's like a personal sign for spirit, because I was born on the 14th. And that just lets me know things are in alignment. So, I mean, it's unfortunate that it's in Chile, earthquake, but the fact that you used that was the numbers was a significant nod for me. So thank you for sharing. Okay, so let me clear for all seeing activity. Messages related to the twin flame union of this couple. Make sure I didn't have everything in reversals. I'm not reading reversals at this deck at this point. I just got it. And one more. All right. The union energies. 9 of Wands. So that would be feeling rather beat up, like you've been through a lot, maybe kind of bruised and bumped around a little bit, maybe a little guarded and protected, but also not giving in. So you might have come through a rough time recently, a lot of things going on. And oh, look at this beautiful card. And this comes on the Leo full blood moon eclipse. So this is beautiful because Leo and strength and all of that. But so this is saying that there's this a strength, a strong quality. Either it took a lot of strength to do that, or someone is using a lot of strength to deal with whatever your lives have going on at this moment. Oh, yeah. So it seems like there's probably some kind of stress and strife that maybe has you feeling. Are you in separation at this time? If you're in separation, or there's something that's, made you feel out in the cold, out of your element. And what I see is that they're not facing each other. This couple's not, connected. They're both kind of facing the same direction, but they're very kind of individual instead of together in here. So, I don't know if there's a strong, let me see if I can, well, let me see the bottom of the deck. Okay, so the bottom of the deck is the Queen of Cups. So this speaks to feminine, nurturing energy, that of mothering, nurturing, caring, emotional connection through a feminine aspect. So let me see if I can get clarity on your Five of Pentacles, where the feeling of lack and kind of separation and downness could be coming from, or what it's related to. Okay, so someone moving on or wanting to move on or moved on from a situation, because Six of Swords speaks to moving away, but you do have thoughts. This is, kind of like moving away from something. These are both in the mental realm. Six of Swords, so it's all in thinking. Something about, thinking that there is a lack of investment, thinking that there is a lack of connection or ability, and moving away from this speaks to travel or moving. And the Nine of Swords speaks to someone being up a lot at night with worry, cause, or concern. So I would say that if this is you, oh yes, Faith, good. Thank you. Thank you, Faith. I hope I said your name right. Yeah, so this is all mental ideas about lack happening on the part. And I don't know if this is like the two of you, if this is one aspect, the feminine aspect. You've been feeling separate, and moved on from something, and now you're staying awake late at night thinking about it. And the masculine is feeling rather battered and bruised up, or if it's just, but yeah, in the middle, this is a positive card. These two are very positive because it's emotional connection and strength, of course, which you're called to use to embody. So I don't know. Let me see what last little guidance comes up for you. Oh, it speaks to the moon. So I would say there's some change is getting ready to come with the moon. Well, something will be illuminated, that you'll be able to see things differently, and you won't be seeing as much of the things that have been scenarios running through the mind, the mental space. I think it's going to give you some clarity as to what's going on, and to be able to move out of this and see the sun shining and the strength that it took to get to this place. Okay, any questions? Is there anyone else in the chat room that was interested in receiving a reading? Okay. Oh, let's see. Oh, yay, I'm excellent. Can you tell me about union? And is this you want to know about your union or union in general? Krista, is that you said your name? While I'm waiting for the chat to come up for the next person who asked. Yeah, Krista with my twin. Okay, I'll read for you next. I wanted to share with you all real quickly. Yes, hold on a second. Yes, Phaser, yes to you. Okay, so I'll come back around first to Krista and then Phaser. So this crystal here is an apophyllite with still bite. And I got it from this wonderful lady named Kimberly from Recreative Resources. She has a YouTube channel, Facebook group, and she sells like these beautiful crystals that you'll see here. I've received a lot of them from her, ordering from her. So anyway, the thing that I thought interesting about this when I got it was that it's supposed to help with psychic connections into the higher realms. And I had never really was not familiar with apophyllite before. And she sent it and she said, well, this one has still bite. So when I looked it up, what was so interesting is that apophyllite is affiliated with the sign of Libra and Venus. And it turns out that stillbite is associated with Aries and fire signs. And my twin is an Aries and I am a Libra. So here is like a perfect in nature example of the interconnected and entwined. Like there's no way to separate the apophyllite crystals from the stillbite crystal, right? So it's like the perfect example of there is no way to separate the twin energy. Any idea that like even one of these fractals of this is separate from the whole is just not true. And most of our lives we've been thinking we were this like one little point, and it turns out that our twin, and as we have been doing this together, not just in this lifetime, but other lifetimes, just together, whether we realize it or recognize the integration or not. So, anyway, I just thought this was perfect for the whole divine within integrated readings. So, okay. All right, Krissa, let me get you and see what the energies and messages are for your union. Clearing the energy. And again, just to reiterate, I consecrate my cards and my reading my energy with unconditional love and the highest Christed light through my mighty I am presence, so that we understand the intention, the energies for which this connection is coming through. And it is only through the divine love frequency of unconditionality of that love, that in truth, that these messages would resonate. Okay, so if you're in separation from the twin, what I can say is this. In the separation is when the healing happens. And it's just very, very true. If you are not in communication, then the best possible outcome at all times is unfolding for us. So if it is not unfolding for us to be in connection, then it is not the best possible time for that connection to happen. And when I finally was able to get to that place of release and sorry, these cards are so big, releasing an idea of things and accepting the fact that I am very much connected with my twin, as are you. So the idea that there's any separation between the two is purely from the 3D perspective. And we have to realize that sometimes being connected in 3D is not going to be the most healthy or best thing for us or most self-loving thing. So, it's hard when it comes to separation. So let's see what the messages are for you. Oh, Nine of Swords. So there's been a lot of thinking and sleepless nights about this. I don't know if this is coming from you or from your twin. And this is the King of Pentacles. So this is a masculine earth sign energy. Sometimes can also be considered like a father figure. Oh, this moon just keeps showing up for everybody. And on the bottom. Okay. So this says here that sleepless nights, laying awake at nights, there's a masculine energy that is part of this. Okay, he's got a lot of thoughts about things at night. Anyway, it's keeping up. So, and I think you say he's a Taurus. So anyway, this King of Pentacles, but the moon is again something with the moon. I guess the moon is going to be bringing great things with this eclipse. This is bringing stuff of an emotional nature, a deep hidden emotional nature to light. This eclipse, they say, is a big one, and the effects are going to be felt for up to 6 months. So I believe that it seems like you're in that wave of people who are going to be experiencing sudden shifts with this moon. And I think there's a wave of twins in 2019 that is looking to this very close to manifesting harmonious connections. And notice that I don't say like physical union, because not every physical union is harmonious. And what we have to remember is that it is the harmonious frequency and vibration of love that is the twin flame mission. It is not the frequency of pain, suffering, grief, stress, strife, separation, right? So now this says here that there's somebody's trapped by their own thinking. You know, this is a person. So if he is trapped by his thinking, by his Eight of Swords, if you are trapped, if there's some situation where your masculine is laying up at night, then there must be a corresponding situation that is causing you to have thoughts a lot too, because there's the reflection effect, right? It may not be as transparent, but it might be you staying up thinking about him staying up thinking. You know what I'm saying? And so the Eight of Swords, but this speaks of being trapped, right? So I think that we all can agree that only we can free ourselves when we're in a prison of our own making. It's not for us to be rescued by anyone. So, if he is trapped in his mentality and that is preventing him from contacting you, he has to free himself of that, right? Just like if we are trapped by something, we have to free ourselves from it as well. So I think that this moon energy that's going to come up will hopefully reveal the things that will help us to take our blinders off, to be able to go ahead and be free to move forward out of that energy. I know this was for you, Chris, and your union, but we are all so connected. I believe there are lessons in other people's direct messages that are still valuable for all of us, because we're basically chained to link together in loving vibration. So, I certainly can relate to having had Nine of Swords nights myself, and Eight of Swords in relationship to many other things that I have going on in my life that, I'm looking at with my material manifestation and things like that. So, this could be unrelated to the relationship as well, because maybe it could be with financial worries since it's showing the pentacles. So it could be money concerns, that, a money situation of needing to manage money that has the individual trapped as well. So I don't know if you found that informative, Krista, if you're still watching, if you have any questions. And if anyone remaining has any questions before I close down the live. Okay. Well, thank you so much for allowing me to connect with you and for checking out my reading. My name is Joelle, and I'm the Vibrarian. I'm here to elevate, enlighten, and empower. I have a very large collection of oracle cards and tarot decks. So I will be doing various readings showcasing those decks over the next several weeks. This particular tarot I will continue to use for the Divine Within spread readings. I think that that's going to be a really useful tool for me as I learn more about how my guides are delivering the information of the integrated body and energetic body. So thank you so much for your time this evening. And the light in me absolutely honors the light in you. Namaste.